picture this. It's December in Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
It's cold.
Chilly.
You stop by a friend's house,
Okay.
let yourself in, and find their purse lying by the stairs. Kind of strange, right?
Yeah, a little.
You call out, but there's no answer.
Oh.
And then you find her
Oh, no.
lifeless in the bedroom.
Wow.
This is Ruth Carter's story.
Okay.
It happened back in 1999. And it's just the start of a mystery
Really?
that we're going to dive deep into today.
I'm intrigued.
We're talking twists and turns, potential suspects, and the gun that links Ruth's death to 2 other murders.
Oh, wow. This is going to be good.
So get ready,
Oh.
because this case
Yeah.
is colder than that December night in Ohio.
It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Where you just keep finding more pieces, and
Yeah.
you're not even sure if some of them belong.
Exactly.
We've got to look at everything.
Right.
Witness statements,
Yeah.
forensics, what we hear on the streets, even whispers. See if we can finally put it all together.
We've got all sorts of stuff for today's deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
Police reports,
Okay.
court documents, interviews, the whole shebang.
I'm ready.
And every page just adds another layer to this really complex case.
Sure.
Let's start by getting to know Ruth.
Okay.
Okay, so Ruth Carter was a 50-year-old woman.
Okay.
People called her Mama Ruth, Miss Ruthie.
Sweet.
You know,
Yeah.
she lived a pretty modest life in Dayton, Ohio, but she was involved in the drug trade.
I see.
And we all know that world can be dangerous.
It's a dangerous world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
has its own rules.
Drugs, money, violence.
Yeah, power struggles,
Loyalty's always tested. Grudges can turn deadly.
for sure.
So knowing that Ruth was in that world,
Yeah.
that's key.
That's
It tells
key.
us about potential motives, maybe who was involved,
Oh, yes.
things like that.
Now, it was one of her friends,
Okay.
Jack Bozeman, who found her
Oh,
on December 13th, 1999.
wow.
He said he stopped by around 10 p.m.
Okay.
to help her with something.
Mm-hmm.
She'd asked him to take care of a mouse in her room.
A mouse.
Yeah.
Huh.
So he had a key,
Okay.
let himself in,
Mm-hmm.
found her purse by the stairs,
Oh.
and then he found her body upstairs.
That's chilling.
It's a detail that sticks with you.
It really is.
The purse.
Yeah.
Like a clue.
It's out of place.
Almost like
right?
someone left it there on purpose.
Yeah, like a breadcrumb
Yeah.
in some kind of twisted game.
Makes you think, huh?
It does.
Now, the police found a shell casing in the bedroom,
Okay.
some cocaine,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of cash, probably drug money,
Right.
but Ruth's wallet,
Yeah. Yeah.
gone robbery was the first thought.
That makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, of course.
Missing wallet, drugs.
Like a drug deal gone bad. Someone grabbed the cash and ran.
Seems straightforward enough.
Seems like it. Well,
But like we said, this case is anything but.
I bet.
And we'll get to that.
Okay.
But right away,
Yeah.
2 of Ruth's friends,
Mm.
Jack,
Mhm.
the one who found her,
Right.
and another guy, Victor,
Okay.
they both told the police they suspected.
Oh, really?
This guy named Damon Flippin.
Okay.
He was staying with Ruth on and off,
Hmm.
and she told him she was afraid of him.
Oh.
Even said she wanted to get a gun.
For protection.
Yeah.
So we've got a suspect,
Yeah.
knew the victim, had a history with her.
Right.
Ruth was even scared of him.
Exactly.
That's a pretty big lead.
It is.
But we got to be careful.
Oh, yeah.
Just because someone's accused doesn't mean they actually did it.
Of course, of course.
We need more.
Okay, so now, here's where things get interesting.
Oh, boy.
Remember that shell casing from the scene?
Yeah.
Ballistics matched it to a gun from a shootout 9 months earlier.
Well-
And guess who was injured in that shootout?
Let me guess. Damon Flippin.
Damon Flippin.
Wow.
However,
Mm-hmm.
it's not clear if he was the shooter or the one who got shot.
Oh, so it's not as clear cut?
Nope.
Interesting.
So we go from a possible suspect
Yeah.
to a possible suspect linked to the murder weapon,
Right?
but we don't know his role in that earlier shooting.
A lot of questions.
So many questions.
Yeah.
Was he getting revenge?
Maybe.
Was he targeted because he had the gun?
Could be.
We don't know.
So what happens next?
Well,
Yeah.
like things weren't complicated enough already.
Uh-huh.
Another man,
Okay.
Jaron Bull,
Mm-hmm.
they called him Buck, was murdered almost a year later in November 2000.
Okay.
And he was killed with the same gun.
The same gun.
The same gun.
Wow.
And to make it even creepier,
Oh, good.
Buck lived less than a mile from Ruth.
No way.
Yeah.
So 2 murders.
2 murders.
One
The
gun.
victims living close by. Too much of a coincidence, right?
Yeah, you can't ignore that.
So now investigators have to think,
Right.
serial killer.
Maybe.
Or at least some connection between these victims.
Shared motive.
Yeah, something.
It's wild.
This story just gets more and more tangled.
You said it.
And we're just getting started.
Can't wait to hear more.
So buckle up,
Hiya.
because we're going deeper into this world
Oh, yeah.
of informants, hidden truths,
Mm-hmm.
and the search for justice in this ice-cold case.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we've got these 2 murders,
Yeah.
same gun,
Mm-hmm.
so many questions.
And then...
And then in 2005,
Okay.
this case takes a crazy turn.
What happened?
An informant,
Ooh.
we'll call him Dave,
Okay, Dave.
pops up.
All right.
Says he knows who killed Ruth,
Mm.
and it's not Damon.
Really?
Yeah,
So who is it?
Dave says it's 2 other guys,
Okay.
Mike and Tony.
Mike and Tony. All right.
He even gives a name for the guy who supplied the gun,
Oh, wow.
a guy named Justin Turner.
This Dustin Turner.
Yeah, and he describes the gun as a .32.
The .32.
Uh-huh.
But we thought it was a .380.
I know,
Hmm.
but,
Yeah.
close enough, I guess.
I guess so.
That's what the investigators thought anyway.
Well, informants, they can
Right.
be tricky.
Yeah, why's that?
Sometimes they're helpful,
Okay.
give you a peek inside, the criminal world.
Mm-hmm.
But their motives,
Yeah.
they can be complicated.
What do you mean?
Maybe they're trying to save themselves or get revenge on someone.
Interesting.
It's not always straightforward.
Okay, so what does Dave say?
I'm curious.
Well, he says Tony was the shooter.
Tony.
Mike was there too.
Okay.
They thought Ruth had a ton of drugs and money,
Mm-hmm.
but they only got $500.
$500.
That's it.
Wow.
Split it between them.
That's crazy.
But there's this one detail,
Okay.
kind of spooky.
What is it?
Dave says they told Ruth to look down at a mouse
A mouse.
right before Tony shot her.
Like the mouse Jack was supposed to take care of.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a little too coincidental.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, either they knew Jack was coming earlier
Right.
or they set that whole thing up.
It's too creepy to ignore.
No kidding.
So what else does Dave say?
Well, he goes on to say that Mike killed Buck too.
No way.
Same gun.
Sam gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that they tossed it in the river.
The river.
At par.
So, impossible to find.
Pretty much.
If that's true, it really connects Mike to both murders.
For sure.
Could be a shared motive or
Mm.
some kind of connection we don't know about yet.
But you see the problem, right?
Oh, yeah, the gun's gone.
Gone.
Makes it tough to prove anything.
Exactly.
Frustrating, isn't it?
So frustrating.
You've got this guy, Dave,
Mhm.
taking a risk by talking,
Right.
giving specific details,
Yes.
details that seem to fit.
Yep.
But the police, they didn't really do anything with it.
What?
They didn't question Mike. Didn't question Tony.
Wow.
Didn't even look for the gun.
Seriously.
Seriously.
But why?
Happens a lot with cold cases.
Is it?
More than you'd think.
That's terrible.
It is.
For the families.
Especially for the families.
It's like justice is just out of reach.
They're left wondering
Yeah.
what could have been.
Oh, and then it gets even more complicated.
Oh no, what now?
In 2006,
Okay.
Justin Turner,
Yeah, the gun guy.
the gun guy, gets murdered.
What?
And they used a 9mm.
A 9mm.
Yeah.
But the murder weapon was a .32.
.380, right?
Right, .380.
But remember,
Yeah.
Ruth's sister mentioned seeing a 9mm at Ruth's house,
Oh, yeah.
and that gun was never found.
So maybe it was the same gun
Maybe.
that killed Justin.
And maybe it was taken from Ruth's house.
Possible.
It's a lot of maybes, I know.
It is.
But it's a connection, right?
a connection for sure.
Was it just a coincidence?
Could be.
Was it revenge?
Vague.
Or did someone want to shut Justin up for good? That's a chilling thought.
It is.
So many possibilities.
Now, in 2008,
Okay.
the police finally tested the DNA from Ruth's autopsy.
It took them that long.
I know, right?
Wow.
They found unknown male DNA under her fingernails.
Interesting.
And get this,
What?
they found 3 different DNA profiles on cigarettes in her ashtray.
In her ashtray.
Yep.
So other people were there.
Seems like it
Were they involved?
could be.
Or just there by chance?
We don't know.
Another piece of the puzzle?
Right.
But it doesn't give us a clear answer.
Nope. Not yet, at least.
So frustrating.
Totally. What about Dave?
Oh, well, guess what?
What?
Dave shows up again.
Again.
Yeah.
When?
Same year, 2008.
Huh.
He's in trouble with the law.
Oh.
Figures, right?
Yeah.
And he thinks maybe if he gives more information,
Mm-hmm.
it'll help his case.
Classic informant move.
So he tells them more about Ruth's murder
Okay.
sticks to the mouse story.
Still with the mouse.
Yeah, it's a creepy detail.
It is.
And he adds that Mike and Tony, they were hoping to find way more drugs and money.
Than the $500.
So this is the second time Dave's come forward.
Right.
Same story both times.
Interesting.
Adds a few details each time.
That makes him seem more believable.
Right.
Yeah, like he's not just making stuff up.
Exactly.
He's gradually telling us what he knows.
Right.
Maybe he feels safer now.
Or maybe he just wants a better deal.
Could be both.
This time, he also talks about Buck's murder.
Oh, yeah.
Says his cousin, Sam, was involved.
Okay.
Apparently, they told Buck the cops were coming.
Oh, so they tricked him.
Yep. Then Sam shot him in the back.
While he wasn't looking.
Exactly.
Wow.
And they took off with some drugs and money.
So similar to Ruth's murder.
Is right.
Distraction, then a shot in the back.
It's chilling.
It is. It's like they didn't even think twice.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now hold on tight.
Okay.
Because Dave's not done yet.
There's more.
He says Tony and Mike killed Justin Turner, too.
The gun supplier.
Uh-huh.
Wow, this is getting crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
He thinks they killed him so he wouldn't talk.
To keep him quiet.
Ruthless.
Like a house of cards.
What do you mean?
One murder leads to another, and the motives just get more and more twisted.
It's like they were trying to cover their tracks.
Yeah, eliminate any loose ends.
Wow, that's cold.
It is.
But even with all this new information, the police still didn't do anything. They didn't talk to Mike.
Nope.
They didn't talk to Tony.
Nope.
They didn't even talk to Sam.
It's unbelievable.
It is so frustrating.
And of course, the gun.
The .380?
Yeah, the one used to kill Ruth and Buck.
And the 9mm?
Yeah, the one that might have been taken from Ruth's house.
Right.
Never found.
Never found.
It's like they didn't even try.
It really raises questions.
It does.
About the whole investigation.
Yeah, were they thorough enough? Did they miss chances to solve these cases?
It's hard to say.
It is.
But it's not a good look.
No, not at all.
And then Dave pops up one last time.
He does.
Yeah, in 2010.
What happened?
Same story, same details.
Sticking to his guns.
But he adds a little more about Buck's murder.
What does he say?
Says Sam and Tony pretended to be cops.
To trick Buck.
Yep. That's how they got him to turn around.
And then Sam shot him.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it's the same pattern again?
Yeah. Distraction, then a shot in the back.
Cold-blooded.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
By this point, Mike, Tony, and Sam, they've all been in trouble with the law.
For other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So their DNA should be in the system so they could compare it.
To the samples from the crime scenes.
The cigarette butts, the fingernails.
Exactly.
That could be huge.
It could be the breakthrough we need.
Finally.
But there's a chance their DNA isn't in the system yet.
Seriously.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Bureaucracy.
Exactly.
Could be slowing everything down.
It's frustrating.
It is.
But there's one more thing.
Okay.
Remember Damon Flippin?
The guy they initially suspected?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about him?
Well, they ruled him out as a suspect in Ruth's murder.
They did.
Uh-huh.
So he didn't kill her.
Seems like it.
But he was connected to the gun.
Yeah, the gun used in both murders.
And his own shooting.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
It's definitely a piece of the puzzle.
A piece we haven't figured out yet.
Maybe we never will.
Maybe.
It makes you think about all the things we don't know.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
We have all this information.
Mountains of it.
But we're still left with
so many questions.
A gun that connects these murders. An informant who seems legit.
Yeah.
And all these connections in Dayton.
It's a web.
But it feels like justice is so far away.
The truth is out there.
I hope so.
But it doesn't always come easy.
No.
Especially with drugs involved.
Yeah.
People are scared to talk.
They don't want to get involved.
Exactly.
It's like this case is shrouded in silence.
It makes it that much harder
to find the truth.
To get justice.
I keep thinking about Dave.
Yeah.
He's putting himself out there.
Risking a lot.
Sharing what he knows.
Trying to do the right thing.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But what if the police had just listened?
What if they'd followed up on information?
What if they ran those DNA tests?
Yeah, I guess Mike and Tony.
Compared it to the cigarette butts.
The samples from Ruth's nails?
Maybe that would have cracked the case wide open.
It's possible.
And that's where you come in.
Our listeners.
Maybe something we talked about today.
Triggered a memory.
A detail. Anything.
Maybe you knew someone involved.
Or heard a rumor.
Or saw something that seemed small at the time.
Sometimes the smallest thing
can be the key
to solving a cold case.
It happens.
And these murders haven't been forgotten.
No, not at all.
They've got a resource page in the show notes.
Oh, yeah.
With contact info for the Dayton Police Cold Case Unit.
That's great.
So if you know anything
Anything at all,
please reach out.
don't hesitate.
It's never too late for justice.
Never too late to find the truth.
This deep dive into Ruth Carter's case has been a journey.
A long and winding one.
So many twists and turns.
And dead ends.
But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
The search for justice never ends.
It might slow down,
It might fade away.
but it never truly disappears.
And even in the coldest of cases,
Yeah.
there's always hope.
Always a chance to find the truth.
So keep searching
Keep asking questions.
and never give up hope.
That justice will be served.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Remember to check out the show notes.
For all those resources,
And until next time,
stay curious.
and keep digging for the truth.